If this thing only sells for 1.5 million, we'll be losing our shorts on this deal. We bought this property for $1 million and I've been regretting it ever since. This project has been stalled out for over 2 years. To be honest with you, even driving down the driveway just puts a giant pit in my stomach. Originally, the plan was simple: buy for $1 million, put in 150 to 200,000 in renovations, and then sell it for 1.4 to 1.5 million. It seemed like easy money. We were definitely wrong on this one. We spent 40 grand when we originally bought it just clearing the land. There was piles like this of debris and scrap metal all over the property, or not even scrap metal, just junk. There was piles of logs, piles of stumps. The briars were 10 feet tall. The list goes on, and we had to bring in multiple excavators, burn what we could, haul off what we couldn't burn, get all the briars chopped down, trim up trees, remove some dead trees. I mean, it was a massive undertaking, and we spent 40 grand doing that to the land to make it look nice. And pulling up here today, you can't even tell anything was ever done. And we're literally gonna have to redo it all before we can even list this thing. It's a tough pill to swallow. One thing I will say is that this house will be one of the coolest renovations and most amazing transformations that we have literally ever done. So I am excited about that. Check this out, bald eagle flying over. That was pretty cool. Guys, if you're new to the channel, I buy a lot of different houses. Some of them are quick, easy flips. Other ones are complete dumpster fires, like the one we're gonna be touring here today. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the action. One of the major delays that took place on this job is we ended up having to hire an architect to redesign the entire floor plan of this house. So about 6 months after we hired this architect, we were basically anticipating to receive plans anytime at that point. They could be coming any day. Instead, what happened was the architect decided to retire mid-job. Left us with no finished plans, no handoff, no anything. So we were forced to basically start that process all over, find a new architect, and start fresh, which then took another 6 months. So the planning side alone was one of the major delays in this project and delayed it by over a year. Before we head on inside, I just wanted to peek my head over the bank here and see if we can still see the river, or all the clearing that we did already grown back up, which we're gonna find out here in a second. But previously, we had a really nice view of the river. It was absolutely beautiful. Here's a little shot kind of off the corner here. If you can see that, man, sun is bright today. Here's the river down here. Literally off of this bank right here is about 30-ish foot cliff down to the river. So this is all new. None of this was here. I mean, literally there's trees growing up here. We're gonna have to spend some dollars to get this all opened back up. We might as well at least check out the view while we're here. That is pretty amazing. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can tell, but that is a big drop and I'm standing right next to it. It's kind of sketchy. I'll see if I can get you out over the edge a bit. So that was our beautiful river view before all of this new growth decided to pop up here that we're gonna have to spend some dollars clearing it again. Guys, I think it's time to head on inside so we can go over some of the layout challenges that we had to overcome with this house. That way you can understand a little bit more on why we had to do what we did and engage an architect to just, I mean, if there's any chance in us selling this for what we want to sell it for, or at this point, what we need to sell it for, the layout that existed would not have worked for the price point that we need to hit. So let's go on inside. I'll walk you through those layout changes. And then additionally, we'll make sure to get into numbers on this deal. You already know what we're gonna do it for, but hey, what's the estimated renovation cost gonna be? And then what are we hoping to sell it for on the back end? So let's go check it out. One thing that I think will surprise you is the actual size of this house. Guys, hit me in the comments, based on what you're seeing here, give a guess on how many square feet you think this house is. I have a feeling you're gonna be surprised. So the layout of this house was awful. There's 5,700 square feet of living space in this house, and there was only 3 bedrooms. Crazy, right? A 5,700 square foot house, you should have 4 bedrooms, maybe even 5 bedrooms, plus an office. That just wasn't the case here. So that was a major issue we ran into. We assumed there was gonna be a proper number of bedrooms within this nearly 6,000 square foot house, and there wasn't. So in no way would we be able to get the price point that we need to get out of this place with 3 bedrooms within a nearly 6,000 square foot house. We had to figure out a way to restructure the floor plan to account for those additional bedrooms. So one of the issues with the layout that we ran into was here on the main floor. The only bathroom that was on this main floor was the master bath. Again, this main floor has our kitchen, has our living room, has our dining room. The only bathroom was the one for the master bath. So if you were having guests over, they would literally have to go into your master bedroom and into the bathroom, or you could go into this office den and you could access it from here as well. So super funky layout. So we had to figure out where we could add a half bath on this main floor because that situation was simply not gonna work. So we were able to come up with a solution here to add the half bath underneath the stairwell right here. It's not the size I would love. It's a little small, it's a little crammed. At the end of the day, we're working within an existing layout, so it's kind of the only option we had. So I consider it a win. So here on the main floor, we have 2 bedrooms. We're standing in the master bedroom now. It's gonna be its own bathroom here, and then also a walk-in closet. And then there's one additional bedroom on this main floor that was previously just like an office den. Well, technically it still is. I mean, it's a cool room, right? Cool woodwork with a built-in desk, but all this is gonna get ripped out because really we need another bedroom next to the master suite so that most likely whoever moves in here, they're gonna have kids. Usually parents want their kid or their youngest kid or whatever next to them or close to them, if you will. So, and again, if they don't, they could repurpose this room as a den or as an office, but we want the ability for it to basically have a dual purpose so that it can be utilized as a bedroom or an office. So this home was built in the early 1900s, and some of the challenges with those homes are the floor plans are very closed off. In today's market, buyers are looking for the opposite of that. They want an open floor plan, something where the kitchen flows into the dining, that flows into the living room. They like an open concept. And this house was the absolute opposite of that. It was completely closed off. If you were in the kitchen, you had no idea what was going on in the living room, and if you were in the living room, you had no idea what was going on in the dining room, so everything was just kind of separated, and we had to figure out a way to open everything up. That task was not an easy one given the way this house was built. So one of the main issues that we had to overcome was sitting right here. So this is where the original chimney stack and fireplace was. So originally, this was all walled off, and this was a fireplace for the living room, which then created complete separation between the living room and the kitchen here. And this fireplace started in the center of the basement, came all the way through, up through the main floor here in the center of the room, and then up into the attic, which we'll go to next, directly through the center of the attic. So it created layout issues across all 3 floors, which is why this fireplace had to go. But the way this house was built, you can't just tear out a chimney stack and a fireplace, because that was some of the main structural support for literally each floor. And that's where the architect and engineer work together to make sure that when we rip this fireplace out, we have all the proper beams, span, and posts in place so that the house itself stays structurally sound. Guys, so to map it out for you real quick, this is our main living area. So the front door is in front of me here. These are gonna be giant back sliders. This is our main living room here, which then flows into the kitchen right here. To my left here, this is the formal dining room, and this back corner here that's now all opened up is a breakfast nook. Personally, I absolutely love the way this layout turned out and how it's all opened up. Guys, hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think we did the right move here, or is there anything else you would have done with this layout to improve it? I'm curious. I love the way it is, but I'm always looking for feedback. Guys, we have 2 more floors that we need to check out. We have the attic, which is my absolute favorite. It's gonna be absolutely incredible. And then we have the basement as well, where there's a lot of changes. let's save the best for last. Let's start in the basement, and then we'll head upstairs after that. No lights in here yet, so we'll head into the basement, get the flashlight out. I can show you what we did down here because it's gonna be pretty cool. Okay guys, so a big change that we had to make down here was removing these pillars. As you can see, there's still 4 pillars here, but there was like 8 pillars. We went back and forth with our architect and engineer to try to get all of these removed. At the end of the day, this is the final version that they came up with, but still we were able to remove 4, so that is a win. Still not ideal to have these big posts in the middle of the room. Fortunately, it is what it is. What we were able to remove is, if you can see right here, that's where the base of the chimney stack was. So just getting that out of here alone really opened this space up. This is a massive space down here, and it's gonna make a great kids hangout area. So I'm excited to see the finished product. Not only the house, but this basement's gonna be amazing. So originally there were no bedrooms in the basement. This was just like a big open area. There might have been some framing in the corner, just trying to go off memory here, but either way, there was no actual functioning bedroom. So we decided to add 3 bedrooms to the basement. There's bedroom number 1 over in the corner. This door right here, that's gonna be a bathroom, full bathroom with a double vanity. This is bedroom number 2 here in the middle. And then bedroom number 3 over here in this corner. Again, that's why I think this is just gonna be an awesome kids area. We'll have 3 bedrooms down here, big area for multiple couches, entertainment center, whatever you want down here. It's gonna be super cool. Guys, that is it for the basement. It's time to show you my favorite area of the house, which is the attic space. So let's head on up there now. Okay, so here we are in the attic, and it is hotter than Hades in here. So originally this top floor had 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And we wanted to utilize this space as more of kind of like a party room, a hangout area. And you might ask why that is. Well, it's because it has the best view in the house. So if we come out this direction here, it's kind of hard to see now, but as soon as we get rid of just a few of this brush here, it's the only area in the house where you actually have river views. And also, it's a little hazy today, but non-hazy day, you have a mountain view right here as well. So this is just an amazing area, and we wanted to open it up kind of like, hey, the kids have the basement to have their own little play area. The adults can hang out up here, have cocktail hour on the top floor up here. So we thought this was a good repurpose of the space. Okay, so circling back to the fireplace, smokestack, and all that, it came up through the floor right here in the attic space. So you can see without getting rid of the fireplace and the chimney stack, we would have never been able to open things up on the main floor or even on this top floor here. We would have been stuck with a chimney stack right in the middle here. So we're still stuck with these 2 posts here, but it's still very open, which is nice. So our thoughts are, hey, we can do a little like TV watching area over there. And then kind of where I'm standing here, you could do, I don't know, maybe you put a pool table or some sort of fun activity in this big open area. And this right here is the bedroom that was left over. And this will make for a great guest bedroom for when you have guests in town. They get to be hanging out up off party room or whatnot. And then they also have river views out of their window here too. So we thought this was a really cool room to keep. And it's also right off the bathroom up here too. So that's it for the top floor. Definitely my favorite floor in the house, mainly cause the view, this kind of enclosed deck out here, which I think is pretty cool. But guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this floor? Is this your favorite, or do you like the basement better? Do you like the main floor better? I'm curious what you think. Again, previously that was another bedroom and you just had a very small hangout area in the middle here. But I'm curious what you think. Good move or bad move opening this up? Let me know. So at this point, as far as the inside of the house goes, we've got our plans approved and everything is in motion. However, there's still a few question marks on the property and just on the overall scope of work, and one of which is what we're gonna be doing with the land out front and the land in general. I mean, we have 6 acres of land here, and we gotta figure out how to make this place shine while being sensitive to the budget. So landscape is still a big question mark, but again, whatever we do, it's gotta look awesome. We gotta hit a pretty high number on this one to climb out of a pretty big hole that we're in here, which we'll get into numbers here in a second. So the other question mark on this place is the front entrance. I'm not entirely sure what we are gonna be doing with it. We don't have a plan in place yet. Maybe we leave it, maybe we redo it entirely. These stone steps are kind of cool, but at the same time, the front of the house is also a little plain. I don't know, I'm still scratching my head on what we might be able to do here just to kind of like spice up the exterior of this home a little bit and increase the curb appeal. So again, guys, if you don't mind, hit me in the comments. I'd love a suggestion. And another question mark is around this back patio area. So again, similar to the front, we have some already kind of built-in stone steps. They are intact, they are in decent shape. We do need some sort of like hangout area with steps that then just don't go straight into grass. Like we need a space where somebody can step out, almost like a back deck or back patio area, and there's just not that much room up there. So we have not made any decisions on that, on what to do there. Guys, help me out. What do you think? Would you be okay with a back patio like this? Or do you want something much larger that you can fit, you know, your tables and chairs on, that you can fit whatever, a barbecue? Let me know what you think. I'm pondering on what we can do here. Okay guys, so here are the numbers on this deal. Like I told you, we bought this house for $1 million. Originally, we were thinking, hey, maybe we can put 200 into it and sell it for, you know, 1.4, 1.5. Given the issues with the house, all the different layout items that we went over, it being a 6,000 square foot house with 3 bedrooms, there's just no way it would ever yield that. So we were forced to just basically undergo a massive renovation. Like I mentioned, we're over 2 years into this project now and it's just getting started. So it's an absolute disaster. My renovation estimate on this house is around $500,000. I'm hoping it stays to $500,000. We'll see where the final numbers land. I'm really hoping it's not more, my gosh. Buy for $1 million, put in 500, we'll be into it for 1.5. I'm hoping we can list it and sell it for around 1.7. Given that we've had to hold on to this thing for so long, I mean, at 1.7, we might make a little bit of money, or it might be a break even. We haven't calculated all the different carry costs that we've encountered over the years, but my gosh, that's pretty much the only way out of this thing at this point, is to renovate our way out of it. There is no easy, quick sale button. We're in it for the long haul. So wish me some luck on this one, because I'm gonna need every bit of it. I mean, if this thing only sells for 1.5 million, all said and done, we'll be losing our shorts on this deal. Only time will tell. But again, guys, if you could, it would mean the world to me. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, wish me luck on this deal. Like I said, I need every bit of it just to even break even, for gosh sakes. That would just be a miracle in itself. So subscribe so you can follow along and not only see what happens on this deal financially, but hey, at the very least, it's gonna be one heck of a transformation. At the end of the day, it's gonna be an amazing house. So we'll see you on the next one. All right, see ya.